big building that's been bought by the biggest beverage company in China for a price that's really raising some red flags for me. Talk us through what happened and what your concerns are.
Well, I did not know about that until somebody tipped me, actually probably late April, to say, do you know about this? 中山散, 农夫山泉, richest man, billionaire by Forbes magazine, worth about probably 60 billion, and very quietly purchases 23 acres with 330,000 square foot modern industrial building in Nashua, and next to our defense contractors and our natural water pond, Pennychuck water pond, and near air traffic control for entire New England states. And also we have a New Boston Space Force Station, all very close. So I drove there, made a video about it. It's like we saw when the balloons flying over, of course, Biden did not shoot that down for a while. People were like screaming, but they're in my backyard. And I tell people, I understand China. China has national security law, intelligence law. That will apply to anybody. Doesn't matter where they are. Chinese nationals, Chinese business. There's no line between so-called private and the CCP because you have to comply with the laws. Otherwise, what happened to Jack Ma could happen to him. They're going to force you to retire, seize your assets, and delist it from stock exchange, and ask you to give to charities, so-called charities, and make you basically to leave your company that you created because he dared to kind of criticize Chinese government economical policies. So I'm trying to educate people. And plus later, I found out they joined the base in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. It's listed under Treasury Department website as one of the most critical military infrastructures that any foreign investment within 100 miles radius must require the Treasury Department committee to review it, investigate it, and approve it. It was closed on January 31st, quietly, without the media, without the state leadership's awareness, and nobody knew about it, and called anonymous buyer. The seller, Stack Industrial, is actually a public traded company. I don't know how long it took them to even disclose who bought their property for 4 times much. And later I did more AI research. The two biggest institutional investors, shareholders on the seller board is Vanguard and BlackRock. And then I did the shareholders for Nongfu Sanquan. The biggest owner, of course, is Zhong Sansan himself, 84%. But BlackRock, Vanguard are the two American investors who own some small shares, but still worth lots of money because that's the biggest China's water bottle company. So I'm just very concerned. There was no Treasury Secretary January 31st. It was during transition period between Biden and Trump. So nobody was there to follow up with this. Did they apply to have review done? The company was registered last November after the presidential election, a shell company in Delaware called Long NF, North America. And then registered 4 companies in Secretary of State office in New Hampshire, 4 companies. And they paid $1 million real estate transaction fees to our county called Hillsborough County. So who is involved? I don't know. Who knows about this? It's just when I start to kind of blow that up, ask questions, I get lots of interviews. And Newsnation interviewed me about that too. And they said, what do you mean, Lily? Soft power invasion? I say, I feel like this is soft power invasion, which Xi Jinping encouraged the Chinese business to go abroad to invest. And they're not just invest in companies. It's Wall Street, it's education. You got the Confucius Institute in New Hampshire for 12 years on the campus of UNH. And you got 2 college campuses sold to Chinese owners in New Hampshire. So this big ownership deal now by Zhongshan San. It's a third large purchase, $67 million for something appraised at $50 million. It's a big red flag. Why do they value this water so much, this location so much? And the Daniel Webster College was also sold to a Chinese. They did not do anything for years. And now I have two renters there. And one of them is a drone company. And all very close to all these strategic locations. We also have a naval shipyard in Portsmouth. We just passed the China bill, so-called the China bill, but it's preventing all the adversary countries come to New Hampshire to buy any real estate within 10 miles. But 10 miles is very weak, but we cannot get that passed if you don't nail down to 10 miles. So this passed, but it was too late. Got signed to law in July. They closed on January. So only federal government now have the authority come in to investigate and stop this deal. I'm hoping they come in as soon as possible. But we are going to the August 12th next week, a local Nashua meeting to get the public to show up, residents to show up to voice their concerns. Do you want to sell water to the Chinese company? I mean, that water is like, you would think it's natural, precious resources. Like water security, like food security, like farmland, it's all national security issues. So we will see what happens.
I mean, that's a shocking issue. You would think, more of the current elected representatives would be having more to say about that.
You know what? We do have a Republican control the state House and the state Senate and the governor's office. And we also have an executive council, which is unique to New Hampshire system. They check governor's powers. They have to prove all these spendings. So we have all four branches, state government actually controlled by Republicans. So I'm hoping this will get looked into very carefully, and they will all speak up, and they will eventually stop it. We did have two state senators publicly talking about this, and want to the federal government get involved, review this. I have tipped the CFIUS, the Committee on Foreign Investment Review in the U.S., and I just haven't heard anything from them. And so by keep talking like this, I hope that they will pay attention to New Hampshire, what's going on here, and do an investigation. But at the same time, we need to tell the local government, like a Pennachuck water pond company is owned by City of Nashua. So City of Nashua residents and all the residents get this water can show up to say, I don't want you to sell this water to Chinese company. And, there's lots of issues we need to be concerned with, and especially when federal government did not review this project. So we need to just give more time instead of jump into conclusion, because they were negotiating, how many gallons? 2 million gallons a day? Water is that, they paid 4 times much. You think that their bottled water can sell huge profit margin? It's just lots of questions here,
Yeah. I wonder how much per bottle they would have to charge.
Well, that's the thing, right? That it's like they don't care. They paid $67 million for something that was appraised at like $15 million. And like that right there should be enough to make anyone with any financial sense question why a private company would never overpay by more than 4 times the amount, right? Like there's got to be something else. Well, we don't know what it is though. You know that it's close to the defense contractor and military base and the Space Force base and
Nashua Airport is next door.
And the airport with the air traffic control. So like there's all these things, but you don't really know exactly what the danger is, right?
Well, there are lots of national security concerns, and people just don't feel comfortable. We just feel like, and especially conservative. This is not even partisan issue. We worry about national security, and local residents are worried about our natural resources. Water, from the ground, and we have 5 only water companies in New Hampshire. and they make water bottles and they supply to local residents. And there is one foreign company from Belgium is buying the water, but that's Belgium. We are not at the Cold War with Belgium. So you got to think about, people have to understand People's Republic of China and the Chinese Communist Party. I keep saying Xi Jinping has ambition, has a dream called the China dream. It's Xi Jinping CCP dream. It's not a regular common man's in China's dream. His dream is to take over United States as the number one global power by 2049. Economically, militarily, technologically, and diplomatically.
That was just one clip from our hour-long podcast. I invite you to watch the whole thing at our community platform, ChinaUncensored.tv. We rely on your support to keep making this podcast, so join us and you'll get all the full-length podcasts, audio downloads, exclusive live streams, and lots more stuff. So go to ChinaUncensored.tv and subscribe. I'll see you there.